Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a nice day, and today we're taking a look at a super deformed RX78-2 Gundam. Now, if you don't know, super deformed, or SD, is a line of Gunpla model kits where they take your favorite mobile suit, squish it down, resize it, reproportion it to fit a very cute aesthetic. So here's the front of the box art here. And when it comes to the RX78-2, you do have tons of options when it comes to which SD version you'd like. So very briefly, here is the BB Senshi number 200 RX78-2. So as you can tell, another super deformed Gunpla, but they're gonna look different once built because they've been produced in different times. So we're gonna take a look at this one, but I will have this one on standby, for example. I love my SD Gunpla, by the way, and so for something a little bit more modern, over on the right, we have the SD Cross Silhouette RX78-2. This kit hasn't been built yet, but it's just a more articulated SD kit, and you have the option to make it a bit taller with some option parts, and the part separation is just quite a bit better on this side. But based on my research, if I had to say that there was a kit out there that had my favorite proportions, it would have to be this one. So this is the box art. It looks really nice. I really like the approach here. Turn it on to its side and you can see the kit a little bit better. And yeah, once again, I just think that the proportions on this kit are super, super cute, and especially the torso section. And there's nothing on the back. And once you open up the kit itself, you're greeted with this cardboard plastic insert. What I can only imagine is a nice little background for your SD kit, as well as some advertisements for the other Operation V white base mobile suits. And here is the instruction manual. I like showing these off because it's part of the experience. Here's the nicely painted version of the kit right here out front, and I love that it's all in color here. And once we open it up, we get some more color in here. It gives you some paint directions if you want to match the photo model exactly. Got an area to know where to put the stickers that are included. And then we open it up and we get to see the instructions for the complete kit. Very, very quick build. Love SD kits for that reason. And finally, if we open up the back of the brochure, we get to see more color prints of this kit in action, as well as reference from the TV show and the poses and the accessories. And that looks really cool. Final battle type stuff. So just a bunch of really nice looking material. Let's look at the kit itself. All right, and here we go. Here's a look at the SD RX78-2. Without any stickers or anything like that. This is just the kit straight built with the shield and rifle, beam rifle, as well as the included beam saber, which is currently unpainted. Which is the reason this kit has no stickers on it, because I plan to paint this kit, make it look a little bit more premium, at least feel a little bit better. So I haven't used any of the stickers yet. I probably won't at all. But first impressions of the kit, yes, the proportions are absolutely wonderful. I love the way that this SD kit turned out. It is a amazing example of the Granddaddy Gundam RX78-2. And there's a lot of space for improvement. I mean, as you can see, without the stickers, we're missing some color accuracy here, and there's just little moments and opportunity for there to be better color. Like on the shield here, it's missing quite a bit, and that's supposed to be all stickers. Getting a little closer, the mold is really good, so it'll be easy to paint. So yeah, there's the kit. It has some articulation, which I can maybe show a little bit later, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it. Alrighty, just for a slight comparison, here is that older SD BB Senshi that I showed you, and there are some stickers on here, but there are some obvious upgrades from this kit. Color separation here on the shield, articulated and removable beam saber, as well as this one has just a few more gimmicks, and the sculpt is a little bit sharper in the helmet, but the helmet is the main reason why I'm not a huge fan of this one. I much prefer the rounder, more SD proportions of this, whereas this one is a little bit tall. So You can also see some obvious differences in the chest sculpt, and then everything from the waist down looks relatively familiar, except this one, just everything's a bit wider. So just wanted to show that, but not going to focus on it. This one also comes with more accessories. Right now, I just wanted to show off the kit straight built. Has, you know, some issues here and there. Gonna figure out what I want to put my time and effort into. Maybe removing a seam line here on the sides. But everything else looks relatively good. So yeah, stay tuned to see what this guy looks like fully painted. And then very briefly, like I mentioned before, I can go over some of the articulation. So very basic stuff. It is an SD kit. Arms can rotate and move out to the side. There is a little bit of a bend in the elbow. The wrists can swivel without a weapon in their hand. Swivel, as you can see. The head is just on a polycap ball joint, so it can really only move around very little amount. There's a waist swivel. Suppose the head can rotate all the way around if it is on a ball joint. Of the legs, there's next to nothing. You can see right in there, there's just one ball joint there, and so the leg can sort of only just move on that ball joint. And then the feet actually have, I say, reverse toe crunch. So that's interesting. I guess if the kit is floating or flying, it does sort of sell the illusion that it's levitating, whereas if the feet stayed in this position, it wouldn't look as cool. So I see what they're going for there. What the hell am I saying? I can see what they were going for there. It does look a little bit silly from behind, but from the front, yeah, it looks like that Gundam's flying at you, which is kind of cool. So that's about it. I love the sculpt of this, and with that being said, this was just a quick look at this pre-built, and then in the next clip, we'll see it fully painted. And here we are with my fully painted SD RX78-2 model kit. And I'm just going to put up a side-by-side real quick just to start this off. I think this looks a lot better. In person, I gotta say, it looks better than it does on camera. I don't think the cameras are really going to do it justice, but at the same time, the point is that I put a lot of myself in this. There are errors here and there, and some of them you can see and some of them you can't, but I'll know that they're there. That, to me, is what's so fun and imaginative about, specifically, painting Gunpla. Real quick, turning it to the side, there is the shield that, for the most part, was hand-painted. And yeah, you could tell that it's not perfect. There's, like, streak marks here and there. It's not as flat or as matte as it could be. I could have thinned the paint a little bit more, but there are a ton of different ways I could have gone about this to make it super professionally clean, but I was just having fun, you know? So something I also want to mention is on the sides of the head, the seam lines are gone. That's pretty huge for me. It's something I've been doing recently, putting that extra care into removing seam lines when they're supposed to be removed. So that's a pretty big win for me. Moving on to the back, and the backpack color was actually supposed to be a lot darker gray and less blue, but it mixed with some paint I still had, and instead of restarting the airbrush, I just kept it, and I actually really like how that came out. Again, I'm not sure if the cameras are doing it justice. I will take this model out and do photography for it, so hopefully then and there it'll pop the way that it should. Hand painted the feet back here. Again, not perfect, but gets the job done. And getting this 3/4 quarter angle of the figure of the kit, and the beam rifle came out way more gray than I had meant it to. But we still got the detail in there and the scope, and then the Vulcan head cannons are yellow, a bit of a richer yellow than the ones that I actually used for the airbrush, but I actually think it's okay. So if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, this kit is missing some paint. Specifically, the hands should also be a darker gray color, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'm gonna leave it like this. I mean, I wanted my SD kits to look simple. You know, I wanted the colors to be correct in areas, but I also wanted the sort of uniformity of it to look fairly simple. Okay, and so just to get a closer look here at some of the things that I'm personally proud of, the first thing I'm going to go over is how this kit sort of taught me patience. It took me a full week to build because I let each part that I painted dry for more than 24 hours. I'm also pretty happy with how the semi-gloss top coat came out. I thought it would be a little too glossy, but it actually is retaining a lot of sort of the matte finish that I really like out of Gunpla kits. Once again, I just love the color of how the backpack turned out. I think it looks really cute along with the rest of the kit. Panel lined only a little bit in the vents as well as the head. The head is pretty easily removable because I had to cut some pieces out in order to make sure that the seam line, you can see here, there's where the seam line was, and that went all the way up. And if you really look, you can see it, but from a distance, you're not seeing that at all. For the eyes, I did paint them a dark blue instead of black. I just thought that would go with the color scheme a little bit better. And yeah, once again, I really like how the finish came out on this. I would say that the choice of red that I used came out really vibrant. I'm really happy with that because I sort of run into this issue whenever I airbrush that the colors are all a little bit muted. So I think that this kit, for what it's worth, for what successes I needed from it, hits the mark when it comes to making a cute RX78-2, fully painting it, having it just pop a little bit more than, say, the standard build. So, one last time for comparison, here he is with another great SD kit, and hopefully I've done a good enough job where you can tell which one has been painted and which one has that little extra attention to love and detail put into it. So hopefully the paint on the kit has brought out some of those details that you didn't see before, and I personally, again, am just happy with how this turned out. So that's going to be this video. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy these photos, and with that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.